Welcome to another NenTot Tuesday. I am Erik Johnson with the Division of Agriculture, talking with my longtime counterpart, Tim Shilling with the Division of Mining, Land, and Water. Tim, what do you do for the Division of Mining, Land, and Water?
Yeah, hey, thanks, Bo. So I manage the land conveyance section's competitive land sale program. So ultimately, my team is the team that puts together the proposals for land sale projects. We do all the adjudication. We identify project areas. So for agriculture projects, in conjunction with the Division of Agriculture. Working with you, we identify projects that are potentially appropriate for sale, walk those through the best interest finding process to determine they're in the best interest of the state. And then other folks on the team, they process that through survey, appraisal, and then ultimately we get them into an auction. So the land conveyance section also administers the seal bid auction for land parcels.
And since we're talking about an auction, when is this year's the parcels for Nenana-Totchaket, when are those going to be available this year?
Yeah, so the auction's going to start on June 10th, and so that's when folks can officially start submitting the bids for that. And then the bidding period is going to be ending on September 13th, September 30th. Anyway, and then the the auction event is actually going to be on October 21st of this year. And then following that, parcels that are not sold during the auction will be made available over the counter.
Yep. And people can bid on more than one parcel in this auction, unlike regular settlement sales. What are some of the other differences between ag sales and your regular settlement sales?
Yeah, certainly. So the process is effectively the same. So folks can submit a bid, requires 5% down payment with the bid, and then from there, if you're successful in the auction, then we will process that down payment. If you're unsuccessful, if you did it online, we just don't run the credit card information. If you submit it via check, we just you can pick up the check within a few days or we shred it. But if you're successful with in the auction with that, then you'll be working with the Division of Agriculture to complete a state farm conservation plan. And then once that state conservation plan is reviewed by the Soil and Water Conservation District, approved by the Division of Agriculture, then you can enter into a contract to complete the purchase on that ag parcel.
And I want to clarify that agriculture land sales are open not just to Alaska residents, not just U.S. citizens, but to, I believe, most farmers in the world could bid on these parcels. Check with your State Department.
Right.
Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the parcels we're going to offer this year at auction. Here, let me share my screen and start us off. So this year, we are offering 10 parcels, 3 reoffers from Phase 1A that are on the right side of your screen, and then 7 parcels, new parcels being offered in Phase 1B. These parcels are road accessible. The remainder of 1B, we intend on offering it in 2028 after roads have been constructed and possibly bringing electric to the project. But let's go ahead and take a look at the first parcel. We're going to look at them one at a time. I'm going to show you the land capability class map, which is right here. Over here, it lists the specific soils and the amounts of soils within the parcel. And up here, we have a location map within the Phase 1 of Nenana-Totchaket. Tim, what is the minimum bid and minimum clearing development requirement for this first parcel?
Yeah, so that parcel is the total acreage on the parcel is 66 acres, and the development requirement is 13.05 acres, and the minimum bid amount is $42,400.
Yep, thank you. The next one is a 33-acre parcel. Again, what are the minimum bids and clearing development requirements?
Minimum bid of $28,400 and development requirement of 9.9 acres.
Thank you. This is one that's off of Mose Road and right next to Kohlrabi Court. How about it?
All right. So minimum development requirement of 11.25 acres. The minimum bid is 22,700 acres. Dollars. Excuse me.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and look at the 1B, the new parcels that are being offered. The first one is 125 acres, and it's going to have access from the south and eventually to the north off of the commission line. Um, Looking at the soils, it looks like it's mostly ag soils. What are the requirements?
Okay, development requirements of 61.15 acres and a minimum bid amount of $45,400. And one other thing to note about this parcel that's kind of unique, it's actually surveyed as two separate parcels, and we're offering both in conjunction with each other to make that larger, to bring it up to that 125 acre size.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. Later, it could be subdivided into those pre-existing units at less of a cost than having to do your own survey for a subdivision. Is that correct?
That's correct. Since it's already surveyed, so yeah, the transfer would ultimately have to be approved if it's during the contract portion there. But it is two separate legal parcels, so they could be sold individually further down the road.
And it would have to be, you cannot subdivide under contract. Once you have a patent, then you could look at exercising the subdivision requirement. Good point. Next up, we have ADL 22689. Looks like it's 100% ag soils. What are its requirements and minimum bids?
That is minimum bid of $42,100, and the development requirements are 42.08 acres.
This one's got a little bit of lesser soils, but still mostly good. What can you tell me about it?
All right. Well, that is 53. I'm sorry. That's 67.83 acres. Development requirement of 26.7 acres, and a minimum bid of $36,800.
Oh, and just for the viewing audience, sometimes the acreages between what is on my screen and what he's talking might be a little bit different. It's just using GIS shapefiles versus the actual platted survey. Just they're going to be minor differences, less than an acre, but you are correct, audience. They sometimes don't exactly line up. It is what is in the brochure and your contract that is controlling. Next parcel also has access from Totchaket Road or from Shady Lane. Looks like it's got mostly ag soils again. What can you tell me?
All right, that one is 56.16 acres. Development requirement is 27.6 acres, and a minimum bid of 32,300.
Okay, a little closer to up a little further to the west, 100% ag soils that are appropriate for development.
Okay, and that one is total parcel size is 76.18 acres, development requirement of 38.09 acres, and a minimum bid of $39,600.
Not bad. This one has a little bit of wetness on the west side, but mostly appropriate soils. What are the minimums?
Okay, that is a minimum bid amount of $32,300 and a development requirement of 31.75 acres.
Excellent. Last but not least, a little bit of wetness on the east side, probably the same similar, probably a little depression that matches up with the previous parcel, but still it's got a lot of good acreage. What are the minimum requirements?
Okay, that is a minimum bid amount of let's see, $36,400 and a development requirement of 29.85 acres.
Excellent. Again, going back to my first screen, if people would like any additional information, we have the Nenana-Totchaket project page, but we encourage people to sign up for email notifications through the Mining on Waters website. There's the information. You can also give Tim or myself a call. Was there anything else you really wanted to talk about the bidding process this year or anything along those lines? I encourage people to go to other NenTot Tuesday videos. There's one on using Alaska Mapper to get a GIS file and then taking that to Web Soil Survey to create soil maps like the one I've shown. I'm just showing the land capability class map. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of other little reports you can run regarding soil chemistry. They actually run some interpretations for suitability for Alaska growing potatoes, small grains, and I think peony production, that you could run those reports if those are one of the crops you're interested in raising. Did you have anything more to add today, Tim?
Yeah, just real quick, for if folks are interested and you'd like to get notification when the brochure comes out, you can go to the website at landsales.alaska.gov, and you can sign up for notifications for the agricultural offering, and we'll send out notifications when the brochure comes out. And otherwise, yeah, as Mo noted, if you have questions, give us a call, or stop by and see us at the Fairbanks Outdoor Show. We're going to be out there, and then also Nenana Ag Expo on June 6th.
And I heard we might have a special preview of the brochure. You can't bid yet, but we might have brochures available at that June 6th Ag Expo. I believe I'm going to try to get at least 3, maybe 4 soil pits dug and manned by some soil scientists on that Saturday, June 6th. So we can drive out to the project. You can actually look at the soil. You are encouraged to dig your own hole somewhere on a parcel if you're interested in, just to make sure it is what you are hoping to develop. And I think if people have other questions or comments, here's my contact information. But have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Please listen to the other NenTot Tuesday videos. And
all right. Thank you very much.